ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Saturday. I hope you guys have had a good week and that your weekend has started well as well. Now, here in the UK, we have another named storm. Believe it or not, this is probably the most named storms we've ever had in a year, but it means that there's a lot of wind outside, and if everything stops working or if I suddenly disappear, then you know exactly what's happened, that something's blown over, like, you know, a tower or something that distributes internet out into the world. It might have fallen over and we might disconnect, who knows. But if you can hear the wind outside as well, sometimes you might hear a gust or two. But on the west coast of the UK, I think they've got weather warnings for about 90 miles an hour or something like that. And it's a red weather warning, so it means that there's a danger to life. And that's a rare thing here for the UK, with storms and winds, literally being dangerous, and people having to potentially leave their houses or board up their houses, all that kind of stuff. So hopefully we should be okay here for the live stream, fingers crossed. But also, obviously, I'm not near the west coast, so we should be okay. But it just shows you how powerful the winds are if there are audible gusts here, and I'm absolutely miles away from the west coast. So anyway, hopefully everything will work, and I'm going to get the names of my patrons up on screen immediately, because they make this all possible in the first place. They are the foundation and of everything that I do. So a massive thank you to you guys. You know who you are at the bottom of the screen. And I'm going to get the likes goal up on screen. And I'm going to do this early as well, because we are going to be aiming for a new record tonight of 615 likes. And this will be a new record for the channel, for just live streams ever. And I'm putting it on screen early because we're going to need every single thumbs up we can get. I'm not sure whether we're going to hit this target or not, but we will try. It's got to come to an end at some point where we have the same amount of time for every live stream and we get a new record, but then at some point that record we're going to be slightly short of it. So we will see what happens tonight. 615 is where we are aiming for, and at the moment we are at 220. We just got a bit of a spike of the lights going on there, so that means we're looking for 395 more people to come through the door before the end of the live stream and hit the thumbs up. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. I think it's going to be close tonight. I'm not sure whether we're going to make it or not, but we will see. I've given you guys advance warning, so at least we've got a little bit more time, because sometimes I forget to mention it or put the likeometer up on screen. So yeah, every thumbs up is very much appreciated. So let's also give you guys a shout out in the live chat room. I haven't even done that yet. So in there tonight we have Tammy Rowe, Daisy, Laugh Out Loud, Kim, Sue, Vera, Totora Poga, Billy, Maria, Leslie, Corey, Howard, Tammy, again, Cindy, Gail, and Sue's in there as well, Barbara, Pamela, Bernadine, Billy, Diamond Girl, and Suzanne as well. And we saw, did that say? Thank you for joining me, guys, on this Saturday night. And I can see that there already have been some donations, so thank you guys for those, even though you don't have to donate. And this is the little thing that I put up on screen to let everybody know that you don't have to donate, just watching is great. So yeah, thank you for tuning into the live streams, but watching the channel in general. You can leave a thumbs up if you want. You will have to be subscribed and hit that notification bell to get notified for the videos and the live streams. So yeah, if you want to catch all of the videos and live streams, make sure that you are subscribed and hit that little bell. But anyway, yeah, you don't have to donate, but for those people that can't resist, I think it's important that they know between 45 and 60% goes to YouTube through the Super Chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link, which is in the description below. But yeah, just watching is great. And I can see that we're closing in on 300 likes. So we're getting a bit of a spike going on. So thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up as you come through the door. And yeah, 615 we're aiming for tonight in order to have a new record, but to have Phil Jam number 194. So, I mean, we're closing in on 200 Phil Jams, but we will see if we have that later on. Of course, if we hit 615, then we will bust out the guitar, have a jam, and see what happens. Right, I'm just going to address some of these donations that have come through. And the first one is Paul for $5. Thank you for that, Paul. And the message is, here we grow again. 447,000 subscribers. Most excellent. Please spike the likes, all y'all. Shout out to Orlando. Let's have fun tonight. Rock. So thank you for that, Paul. And I'm going to put this up on screen because we are, or I think we are or were at 447,000 subscribers, which is amazing. So thank you guys for subscribing as well as watching the videos. But I can see Angela says, are you zoomed out or zoomed in? I think I'm zoomed out. Oh, where's the red dude? He's not appearing. Oh, there you go. So that was zoomed in, and yeah, I was zoomed out. But okay, I'll zoom in. Oh, now I've gone too far. Okay, right, I'm just going to leave it there. We'll wait for the red dude. Oh, it says a little 2 times underneath. I never noticed that. So I'm 2 times zoomed in. Right, anyway. Yeah, 447,000 subscribers. Thank you guys for subscribing and all that stuff. But I'm not sure if we are still at 447. We might be at 448. So I might have to get rid of that. And I might have to click over here and then maybe type in that. And I'm going to wait until somebody else says something to confirm that it's 448,000 subscribers, and then we might jump into that again. So anyway, yeah, thank you for that, Paul. And Paul donated $2 after that again. Thank you for that, and says, wow, do we have 448,000 subscribers now? Groovy. So it looks like we actually do. So here we go again. So thank you guys for subscribing and hitting the thumbs up and all that kind of stuff, and getting involved with the channel, leaving comments and all of that. So yeah, 448,000 subscribers we are now at, which is another crazy number, but I'm sure that it's probably only just clocked over to 448,000. So by the next live stream, we'll probably be on the same. But yeah, thank you guys for subscribing. It's very much appreciated. Let's get rid of that. And thank you, Paul, for those 2 donations. And Sue has donated $19.99. Thank you for that, Sue. I'm just going to skip this advert before it pops up. And the message from Sue is, happy Saturday night to Phil and 448,000 of our dear fellow wingers. So thank you for that, Sue. And CW has donated £1.99. So thank you for that, CW, and that is a straight up donation. And I'm just going to jump over into the PayPal window because there's a little bit of action over there. And Sue donated £20. So thank you for that, Sue. And that has a message with it. It says, hi Phil, donation because I can't resist, with a smiley face, and then cheers, Sue. So thank you for that, Sue. And we've got CD orders, and then Tammy's donated £10. So thank you for that, Tammy. And the message is, hi Phil, congratulations on hitting 444,000 subscribers. Okay, so this must have... Oh, this was on Wednesday. So thank you for that, Tammy. And the message continues. You mentioned that Adele's 2024 performance was live. Do you think, given the fact that more and more live performances are auto-tuned, that audiences will come to appreciate a totally live and untouched performance? Love and rock. So thank you for that. And I think... I mean, everyone's different as to what they're into, you know, what they like, what they dislike. But I always tend to judge things on whether I could do it or not. So if I'm watching a particular sport and, you know, they're just amazing at what they do, and I think, well, I could never do that. So it is impressive because, you know, especially when you're playing a sport like golf, for example, which is a very technical sport to be playing, and watching the top players in the world, you think, well, I know I can't do that. So it's very impressive. But then, if I mean, I'm a huge advocate of practice. And when a lot of people say about somebody that they're talented at a particular, I don't know, sport or activity, they sometimes say, oh, it must be so good to have that gift, or have been given that gift. But I'm a firm believer in practice, and people that do seem to have a gift have probably been doing it since they're like 4 or 5 or 6 years old. So it's just literally, by the time they're 16, they've had 10 years worth of daily practice at that particular activity. So yeah, even though I look at, sportsmen and women and think it's really impressive, I do think to myself, if I started playing golf when I was 5, would I be able to do it? And I then try and equate it to how I know, I can't play golf at the moment because of my arm, but the standard that I got to, having not played before and picked up very, very, very late on in life, and thinking, right, well, if I could do a round where I was, 12 over the score for a championship course, and I don't practice. So I thought, if I started doing that at 5 or 6 years of age, could I have done the course in par or below par? And I started to think, well, maybe, if rather than, not practicing at all and starting very late in life, I'd had maybe, almost 40 years worth of practice to get to this point. So looking at people, doing particular activities and sports and performances, I always think to myself, well, can I do that? And I think when you're looking at auto-tuned performances, for example, I know that I can do that, and I know that a lot of other people can do that, and people who aren't necessarily that accurate pitch-wise can use auto-tune in order to sound like they are accurate pitch-wise. So to me, I would rather watch somebody who I think, wow, I couldn't do what they do, and they've just got a really impressive voice, and their expression and their range and all these different things that you can really appreciate on a musical level. Obviously, I've been doing music for a very long time, so it means that it probably takes more to impress me than maybe somebody who hasn't been into music or doesn't necessarily have an appreciation of the amount of work that goes into it and all that kind of stuff. But I'm impressed by something that I think, well, I could never do that. And especially when it's something that I have spent a long time doing, if I think, well, I couldn't do that, then I think, well, that person must have spent a hell of a long time practicing. So I do find live vocals basically very impressive when I'm listening to a great singer or watching a great singer, and it's a totally untouched vocal, but they're just absolutely nailing it. It is very impressive. And that goes for instrumentalists as well, and anything that's totally genuine. I think the majority of people will hold in higher esteem that particular person who's actually doing something against somebody who's not actually doing it and using something else in order to sound like they're doing it. I think that's a general thing, across lots of different activities and sports. Imagine that you found out that somebody was winning a particular sport a lot, but then you realize that they were using something in order to make that happen, whereas all the other people who might have won before were coming in second place. Imagine if all those people weren't using the thing that the person who kept on winning was using. And I don't think that's viewed in the same way. People would say, well, if you can get away with it, you might as well take that thing that the person uses to win all the time, and everyone should do that. I don't think that's the common the common opinion, or I think people do value just authenticity and honesty and transparency and achievement. If you roll that all together with achievement, then I think that is generally more impressive than somebody who's not transparent, not honest, and then has the achievement in there. It's almost like the achievement isn't really now the same thing. It's not as impressive because you think, well, yeah, but you used all these other things to get there, whereas this other person practiced. They literally, blood, sweat and tears were practicing for hours and hours and hours every day in order to achieve that. So I think in the future, and I think now, people appreciate live performances more, and certainly from the messages that I get from people, I think that's the majority of people do prefer to see something that is live rather than either lip synced or auto-tuned and basically a computer processor producing what you're hearing. Obviously that's up for debate, but I don't think there'd be as much outrage and I guess comments on my videos. If people were absolutely okay with it, then people wouldn't be shocked, and people that have actually been to the gigs wouldn't be shocked, but even though they are, and they message me to say I was actually at that performance and now I can't believe that what I was watching was lip synced or auto-tuned. If it was common knowledge, then everyone would. Nobody would watch my videos and nobody would really care, because they say, well, I already know that was the case, so there's no problem with it. So anyway, by the way, look out for tomorrow night's video, because that's, as Alan Partridge would say here, and that's like a comedy character from Steve Coogan, as he would say, it's a belter. It's going to be a belter tomorrow night's video, and it is to do with the whole watching something and maybe people not realizing what we're actually watching. So, and you'll have to look out for that. 8 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. That's when I release my videos on a Sunday, Wednesday and Friday. So look out for that. It is certainly an interesting one, but a revealing one for what is going on. I mean, sometimes I think, what is going on? It's just like to think, all of the stuff that's going on in the industry at the moment. That I did the AI thing recently, but I mean, this is actually a group of singers, and it gives you a great appreciation of what goes on with vocal harmony groups nowadays. And anyway, look out for that video tomorrow night, because it's going to be definitely an interesting one, and you'll have to look out for it. But anyway, thank you for that, Tammy. And I'm just going to move forward to, we've had another CD. Oh, and here we have a donation from Chuck for £2. So thank you for that, Chuck. And I'm just making sure I don't miss any. And Michael has donated £10 as well. So thank you for that, Michael. And another CD order there. So thank you guys for those. And we've had a £10 donation as well from, I'm going to try and get this from the email, it's Regina who has donated that. So thank you for that donation of £10. And there's another one that's come through from Nicole for £10 as well. So thank you for that. And the message is, hello Phil. In first, congrats for the 447,000 subscribers. It's insane, but cool. The cold sets in. I hope you are warm in your house. Good weekend, Phil. Love and rock for all. So thank you for that. And yes, everything's okay indoors. It's just going outside that might be a bit of a bad idea. But I would say it's not really cold at the moment. We're not in minus temperatures. Just really windy and rainy at the moment. So it's just kind of staying out of it and staying as safe as possible. And we've had another donation from Debbie for £10. So thank you for that, Debbie. And that is Debbie R. And it's displaying it slightly differently, but thank you for that. And Hiker has donated £7.95. So thank you for that, and hopefully I'm saying your name correctly. It's Heike. So thank you for that donation. And another one that's just popped in there, Tracy has donated £10. So thank you for that, Tracy. And the message with this is, what is your favourite Christmas food? I almost thought that said Chinese food there, but favourite Christmas food. Right, so I'd have to go with probably what we call here pigs in blankets, which is just like a sausage wrapped in bacon. So that's probably, if I'm imagining the Christmas plate of food, probably that's got to be up there on the plate. And this is something that when we go to my sister's house for Christmas dinner, the plates, the size of the plates are ridiculous. And I'm saying this in a sense that they are huge. So I'd say the plates are probably about this wide and about that long. So normally a plate that I have is about maybe that size. So to give you an idea of my plate size, when you buy a pizza from the shops, generally they're quite small, and that can fit on one of my plates. So the pizza fits on one of my plates almost perfectly. So when we go to my sister's house, the plates there, I'd say they're a square shape first of all, which means that you get even more at each corner, because normally on a circular plate you're then limited to how much food you can get on there. So the square makes it even bigger, even if it was the same size. But it's probably about double the size of my normal plate. So anyway, it means that you get about as much food as you can eat in a year on one plate. But the first thing is, pigs in blankets, the sausages wrapped in bacon. Very nice. Maybe, obviously I have sweet potato, because I can't have white potato because my body doesn't like it. So sweet potato is quite good, and then cauliflower cheese. I quite like that. I don't really like cauliflower, but with the cheese on, it's fine. So I think this is the the case. If you put cheese on anything, it makes it better. So yeah, cauliflower cheese is quite good. Obviously Brussels sprouts, I eat those even though I don't like them. And yeah, so the less sprouts I can have, the better. And I mean, turkey is okay, but it's not the best. We only have it at Christmas, and sometimes we don't even have it at Christmas because it's not even particularly that good. It's sometimes substituted for something different, something better, like I don't know, chicken or lamb or something. I can't remember what we had, but I think maybe there's a combination, because my sister does so much food. There's probably a combination of meats on there. So there's like ham and chicken and turkey and probably not lamb, but yeah, I'd have to go for that. And unfortunately, especially with my nephews, they like these sausages and sausages and bacon, so they're always the first to get those, and generally we don't have a huge supply of them, so we just have to make do with one or two of those on the plate. Just enjoy them while they're there, and then they disappear very quickly. But anyway, thank you for that, Tracy. And as you probably already know, I don't drink. I just don't like the taste or the aftertaste of alcohol. So what I have to drink is either water, but for Christmas I probably push the boat out a little bit and have either a Pepsi Max or grape juice, and most likely a Pepsi Max. And yeah, if we have Christmas dinner at my sister's house, then I'll probably take one with me just to make sure that I have one, because yeah, I do like that particular drink only once in a while. And yeah, it's a bit crazy because on the label for those, and Diet Coke and Coke Zero, it has the labels on there, and I know that kind of drink isn't really that healthy because it's simulating sugar. And it's kind of fooling your body into thinking that it's getting sugar when actually it isn't. So it's a bit confusing for the body and isn't particularly good. But as you can imagine, if I have it like once a month, probably not even that. So maybe a few times a year. But on that particular can and on the other cans and bottles, it has all of the lights. And we have like a traffic light system where red is bad, orange is medium, one kind of in the middle of good and bad, obviously, and then the green is good. So generally on vegetables and healthy food, you'll have the green lights, and on Diet Coke, Pepsi Max, Coke Zero, they have the green lights on there. So yeah, people might drink that thinking they're being really healthy and that they've got to have that with their vegetables, but it's probably not the best idea. But I think a few times a year is okay. I can deal with that mentally, I don't mind. And I drink water all the rest of the time, or just a little bit of grape juice or orange juice, and that's what I have every day. And as you can see, I'm through my 1.5 litre bottle of water. Oh, so that would have been wattle of water. Had my brain had its way of swapping the letters around. I don't know how that happens. Where your brain, or my brain, I don't know if other people can do this, but the letters and my brain takes a letter from way further down the sentence and brings it further in. So the bottle of water became the wattle of water. So anyway, for the bottle of water, this is 1.5 litres, and this is why I like this bottle, because some bottles have 1 litre in there or 750 millilitres, but that's 1.5 litres. So it means that if I drink that every day, and I'm quite close to actually finishing that, so I'll finish that off tonight. I think 1.5 litres is pretty good for just water, and then I have a little bit of fruit juice, maybe 200 millilitres, a couple of times a day, then a cup of tea and a cup of coffee maybe. So I think, well, I'm getting towards maybe 2 litres of water, all in all, even though I know that obviously caffeine dehydrates you. So yeah, if I have a minimum of 2 litres of water, then I think I'm doing all right. But that's what I drink for the rest of the year. So there you go. Anyway, I got sidetracked there. Always happens with food. Vera has donated £7.49. Thank you for that, Vera. The message is, hi Phil, have you written your letter to Santa yet? What would you like Santa to bring you this year other than those delicious Brussels sprouts? Congratulations on 448,000 subscribers. You are burning your channel up. Rock, Vera. So thank you for that. And I haven't written my letter to Santa yet, but I've still got time for that. And I don't know what he could bring me this year. I haven't really thought about anything, and this happens every year that I don't really think about it, and then all of a sudden, I mean, it's the 7th of December already, but I'll have to think of something that I would like for Santa to bring me. Always the same is a chocolate orange. That's just something that I have just at Christmas time, as you guys will know, that I think last year maybe I got too many chocolate oranges. So after maybe 3 or 4 of them, you think, okay, well, maybe they're nice because you just have maybe 2 at Christmas time, and then you think, oh, that was nice. Whereas when you start having 4 or 5 or 6, and then, chocolate bars, chocolate orange chocolate bars, and chocolate orange oranges, and chocolate orange sweets that are different flavours of chocolate orange, and then white chocolate and exploding candy chocolate. So yeah, I think probably maybe 2 is fine, and then Turkish Delight, which is something that I have at Christmas as well. But again, I think just 1 box of Turkish Delight is fine, which is something that my parents always give me. So yeah, that's absolutely fine. I think generally the things that I get every year are just the same in terms of just chocolate orange or 2 and Turkish Delight, and then that's pretty much fine. Anything else is a bonus, but I'll have to try and think of something, because I know that my parents will say, well, what do you want for Christmas? And I'll say, well, I don't know, I can't think of anything yet, but I will have a think. So thank you for that, Vera. And right, we've had some other donations, I think, donations in the super chat window. Tordo Porco has donated $2, so thank you for that. And the message is, I resisted but failed. So thank you for that to Tordo Porco. And Joe says Santa needs to bring you a PA, and I'm not talking audio system. So thank you for that. Yes, a personal assistant. So well, if Santa could organise that, and he'd have to magic up somebody who has my brain, so take it and put it in the assistant, so that all of the technical questions I get asked about pitch correction, auto-tune, pitch monitoring software, and guitars, vocals, vocal techniques, all that kind of stuff, the personal assistant could answer all of those questions, because I think that's the main issue, is that if somebody's working through their emails, when somebody would say, give me maybe a technical question about pitch or, you know, standard tuning, A440, equal temperament, all that kind of stuff. When they ask me specific questions, obviously I can then answer that email and just send it back. And sometimes it takes, you know, a while to type it out, but I can at least answer that. Whereas I don't know what a PA would do. They'd say, they'd just say to the person, I'll answer you later. You know, what do you say to somebody who's asking you a question and you don't know the answer? I would have to end up answering it anyway. So yeah, I think that's always the issue, unfortunately. But anyway, yeah, thank you for that. And thank you for the donations. I know that was just Joe going through there. Joe said a clone, or we could do a frequently asked questions for you. So thank you for that, Joe. And this is the problem, that I wouldn't say that the only frequently asked questions that I get are asking me if I've done an analysis video on this band, this artist, this singer, that singer. So yeah, but then I'd have to, again, that's a totally unique question, because I've got, you know, over 1,000 videos. So it means that somebody might ask me a question and I'm not sure that the PA would know if I've done a video on that, but I remember the videos. So when somebody asks me that, I can say, oh yeah, it might have been 6 years ago, but I did a video on that particular artist. So yeah, again, it's very difficult, because the frequently asked questions, if they did just come up the same every time, I could just copy and paste in an answer. But it's generally something that is either to do with an analysis video just released, or something that's happened in the industry recently that people are asking me about. So yeah, it's very much just whatever happens to be the particular question that I'm asked at that time. So anyway, thank you for the donations, and Joe again in that live chat room for popping in. And My Vocal Journey has donated $10. So thank you for that. And that is their first Super Chat donation. And the message is, Phil, what is your favourite cover that you have done? Were you happy with how it turned out, or do you ever think I could have done better? So thank you for that. And I mean, with my cover videos, because I just used to do one a month, so that's all I used to do. So I released that over on Patreon, and I would have, I don't know, maybe 20 patrons, and people would ask me to do, you know, covers of different songs. So for that particular month, I would do a cover video. And for that song, obviously, I'd have to listen to it and try and figure out. And this was before the time of isolating things. So I'd have to listen to it and try and hear what the bassist was doing, what the drummer was doing, you know, what the keys player was doing, and what the singer was doing, where the harmonies were. So I'd listen to all of that, and I would just do whatever that song was for the month, for that one release over on Patreon. And I mean, it was always time sensitive, so I couldn't spend a hell of a lot of time on them, but I just did what I did and released it, and then it just is what it is. So yeah, I think with the cover videos, I mean, some are, you know, more challenging than others. I'd say generally the covers from more 80s kind of bands and artists like Dokken, for example, where you've got vocals that are, you know, up there in the male tenor range, but you're always having to hit notes that are relatively high, and, you know, trying to get as much or as full a sound as possible in your head voice, trying to bring a little bit of chest in there to get an authentic sound. But the problem is always not necessarily just the lead vocal. It's when, especially with Don Dokken, the harmony vocals in the background, because, you know, you're hitting ridiculous notes, and yeah, again, something that I don't do just because I'm not really into it. Artistically, it's not kind of how I roll. I don't pitch correct or auto-tune my vocals, so it means that if I'm trying to hit a harmony line, I'm hitting that harmony line. I'm not just singing a line and then moving my voice to where Don Dokken did it originally for his harmony lines. So yeah, it's, I mean, even though sometimes, you know, hitting what an A4, a B4, a C5, you know, is quite a high note, especially for me. But then you're thinking, well, you've got to go higher than that for the higher harmony line. You know, you're getting up to D5, E5, so it's sometimes even higher than that. So it's just trying to get those harmony lines that have been tricky. So I'd say for those kinds of songs, the harmonies are the difficult part to it, but also that lead vocal, trying to kind of fill it in with, you know, as much body as you can. And for tonight's video, we have potentially The Power of Love. That's Huey Lewis and the News. And again, I think that's probably up there, you know, in that male tenor range. So that Parisian Walkways as well. Now, Parisian Walkways is an interesting one. I can see that The Power of Love is in the lead. It has 60% of the vote, so we might look at that a little bit later on. But with Parisian Walkways, with Gary's version, Gary Moore, he sings it an octave lower, whereas an octave lower was too low. And for me, kind of transposing the key to then kind of take it higher to sit better in my range, it just didn't work, and it wouldn't work because raising the key now makes it sound a bit weird. So I sang the vocal an octave higher than Gary does in his particular version. And I mean, that's the exact opposite of, and I say this about singing within your range, it's the exact opposite of what a lot of people do or don't do. Is generally when a song's really high, they try and force their voice to sing that rather than bringing it down to their key, you know, where their range is, so that they can actually sing it. So this is the opposite. So rather than bringing it down, I took my vocal an octave higher in order to be able to sing it where I thought, well, this is more comfortable for me. So yeah, sometimes it just works the other way around. And then this is the thing. Sometimes people's voices and Gary's voice, he could get a lot better of a sound low down, and for me it's too low, but then an octave higher kind of works for me. So yeah, this is it, that no matter where if you need to go higher, move the song higher or change the vocal line to be higher. If you need to go lower, just take it lower. So there's nothing wrong with that. And I know that a lot of people think that, oh, you've got to sing it in the same key as the original singer. But it's like, why would you ever do that? Because you haven't got their voice. That's like saying for that artist to sing one of your songs that might be too low for them. And they'll say, well, I can't sing it that low. And you say, well, exactly, because you haven't got my voice. So why would I try and do it the other way around? Why would I try and sing in your range? So yeah, people who think, oh yeah, you should have to sing it in another singer's range, you know, that's why range classifications exist, because everybody's got a different voice. So yeah, just sing where you sing, even if you have to do it the opposite way, because there will be singers that sing songs in a higher key and transpose it that way, but then they don't win any awards for that. It's all about the final product as to how it sounds. So yeah, that's what I think, and that's what I do on my cover videos if there is a problem with the particular range. But I think generally when songs tend to sit in and around maybe G4, F4, G4, maybe A4, I'd say once we get up to B4, C5, that's where my voice starts to, you know, I start to have to, you know, I would say push my voice a little bit more than I probably should. But it means, I think for most stuff, most music that I'm into, like hard rock, it tends to be up and around that G4 kind of place, and maybe lower in the verse. So I think ideally for me, a G4 or an A4 high note, you know, is great. That's where my voice kind of sits. But anyway, thank you for that. Oh, it's my vocal journey with that particular question. And Totoro Porco has donated $2 again. Thank you for that. And the message is, resistance is Phil Tile. So thank you for that, Totoro Porco. Right. And let me just jump into this donation that's come through from Cindy for £25. Thank you for that, Cindy. And the message is, hi Phil, people in the chat are wondering what your vocal range is. Thanks. So thank you for that. I would say generally in terms of my classification, I would say that I'm a baritone. So, you know, when I start getting up and getting up to the male tenor range, this is something that with practice you can do, and you can start to extend your range. But with my voice, I know that my range doesn't sit up that high. And when we're talking about the male tenor range, such as the A4, top end of the male tenor range, a tenor will be able to sing those notes and not really have to feel like they're having to go outside of their natural range that is in their range. So it means that they're comfortably hitting those notes, like a G4 and F4. Whereas for me, I think, probably the E4, if I stopped there, I'd feel like, well, that's probably a comfortable place. And, then extending my range, higher than that, obviously takes a lot of work. So from E4 below, and then you've got, E4, E3, now E2, I'm going to say no to an E2, because I can make that pitch, but I don't classify kind of being able to just hit pitches as singing, because I'd say getting down to one F2, F sharp 2, G2, I'd say in and around F sharp 2, G2 is where I'd say I can hold a note and and apply vibrato, and it's not like just making a low sound that you can't do anything with. Like if I was, for example, going and just making a noise like that's not singing, even though going that's very, very low, but it's not singing. It's just a noise that I can make. So and the same thing for hitting high notes. It's got to be something that you can use in control and have vibrato and apply singing techniques too. So I'd say that my range, so I've gone from, I'd say maybe let's say F sharp 2 to maybe a G5, something like that. And again, I'm saying about usable range here, so it's not something that I would say I know that I've made noises higher than a G5 just messing around, but it's not something, it's like you make that noise and they think, oh, that was a bit stupid, what was that? And then you'll go to your guitar and you realize, it is something ridiculous, like to me, like a B5 or a C6 or something crazy, but it's not something that I can use in my singing voice. So anyway, there we go. So what was that? F sharp 2 to G5 is what I'd say roughly my ranges, but my classification would be a baritone. And I think a lot of guys are like that as soon as they start getting up to E4, they start to feel something shift, like either going into head voice or flipping into falsetto and all that kind of stuff. So as you kind of get higher than that, it takes a lot of practice and a lot of work in order to hit those notes. But anyway, that is that. Right. Thank you for that, Cindy. So I've never actually thought about my range, so I guess that's it's not a bad range, but still, I think if you can just cover an octave with your voice, you'll be able to sing most songs. And it's all about transposing the key so that it sits within your comfortable range, because then you can sing it well, rather than singing something badly because you can't reach the notes, either too low or too high. And, it's when people do talk about, why didn't you perform this in the original key and all that kind of stuff, I always think about, well, imagine a female vocalist trying to sing a Barry White song. Would you say to that female vocalist, you didn't even sing it in the original key, so, you should be singing it in the original key? You'd say, well, what? That's mental to think that a woman's going to do that. And you could even say that to guys that have got very high voices, that why don't you sing this song in the bass range? And they'll say, well, I can't sing down that low. So this whole you've got to sing something in exactly the same key as that particular person, it's crazy, and it's a shortcut to vocal damage, unless you've really worked at your voice and you've got great technique. So anyway, thank you for that, Cindy. And Lisa has donated £10. Thank you for that, Lisa. And the message is, hi Phil, frostbite. And this is Lisa W, by the way. The message is, hi Phil, frostbite open today. We are even par. Need to get at it tomorrow. Lead is 5 under. Practice does improve everything. Hope your arm can get better soon. Healing thoughts your way. So thank you for that, Lisa W. And yeah, this is, I mean, probably a good time of the year to not be out playing golf because of, well, the wind, but also, yeah, the frost and just bad conditions. Walking through mud, which I'm not a big fan of. I'm even less of a fan of hitting your ball out of mud, yeah, especially if it's kind of plugged. And I know that some people have winter rules where they take it out and, you know, put it on a nice bit of grass. But for some reason, I just am really strict, and probably why I shouldn't go out anyway in winter time. But yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that maybe next year, maybe early next year, who knows, I can get out and hit a golf ball again. But I'm just kind of resting my arm at the moment and doing the physio, and I've done a little bit of resistance work on it, and it's been okay. But something really weird happened yesterday where I got a pain in my elbow exactly where it used to be, like probably when I first did the injury, 3 years ago. And I thought, wow, this is weird. Why am I getting the pain in there? After so many months of not feeling anything. And then later in the day, and today, it's disappeared. So I don't know what it was, unless it was a trapped nerve. And this is a theory that I've had for a while, that maybe part of the problem was that I was getting a trapped nerve in my elbow somewhere. But it's weird that it just happened for a few hours yesterday, and now it's disappeared. And I also get something in my neck. So I don't know if it's all, when I turn my neck, and like there, I can feel it going down the side of my neck here. So yeah, really weird that, and that kind of comes and goes. So I don't know whether it's all connected, that it's the same nerve that's getting trapped somewhere, and I feel it getting pinched. So who knows? I'm hoping that everything is going to be fine for early next year. But when I've been doing the light resistance work, that's all been fine as well. So I'm hoping it's just a nerve thing and not a tendon or ligament thing, because I'd like to think that the tendon's pretty much healed and the ligament is just taking a little bit more time. But anyway, we will see. Jan has donated 20 Norwegian kroner, so thank you for that. And the message is, I'm feeding Rudolph at the current time. So thank you for that. And yeah, they're going to need their energy for all of that flying that they're going to be doing a little bit later on in the month. So thank you for that donation as well. And right, we are up to date, and we are going to be jumping into tonight's cover video, and we still need more people to hit the thumbs up. How many people? I'm not sure. 86? That's a number that just popped into my head. So yeah, we're looking for more people to hit the thumbs up. And I think maybe 85 more people to hit the thumbs up before the end of the live stream to have a Phil Jam. Is quite a lot of people. So if you haven't hit the thumbs up yet, it'll be massively appreciated if you could do that, because then we'll bust out the guitar at the end of the live stream and have Phil Jam number 194, which is 8 minutes in length. Right, so it's going to be a long one. So it means that in order to fit this in, we've really got to start going with the likes, because we're going to need to leave 8 minutes at the end of the live stream for the Phil Jam if we get there. So yeah, thumbs up would be great. And we are going to be jumping into, let's have a look at what is in the lead. I just ended the poll. So the result is The Power of Love, 59% of the vote. And this is, I know there are other songs called The Power of Love, but this is Huey Lewis and the News, as I'm sure you would expect, with my hair, but just the channel in general and the kind of music that I'm into, and the fact that I'm a big fan of Back to the Future. So we'll jump into this, and I'll see you guys after. Rock!
dove. More than a feeling, that's the power of love. Tougher than diamonds, rich like cream, stronger and harder than a bad girl's dream. Make a bad one good, make a wrong one right. Power of love that keeps you home at night. Don't need money, don't take fame, don't need no credit card to ride this train. It's strong and it's sudden and it's cruel sometimes, but it might just save your life. That's the power of love. That's the power of love. First time you feel it, it might make you sad. The next time you feel it, it might make you mad. But you'll be glad, baby, when you found there's a power that makes the world go round. Don't take money, don't take fame, don't need no credit card to ride this train. It's strong and it's sudden, and it can be cruel sometimes, but it might just save your life. They say that all in love is fair, yeah, but you don't care. But you know what to do when it gets hold of you. With a little help from above, you feel the power of love. You feel the power of love. Can you feel it? Don't take money, don't take fame, don't need no credit card to ride this train. Tougher than diamonds and stronger than steel. You won't feel nothing till you feel the power, just the power of love. That's the power, that's the power of love. You feel the power of love. You feel the power of love. You feel the power of love.
And there we have it. That was my version of The Power of Love by Huey Lewis and the News. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. And thank you guys over on Patreon for requesting that cover, but also Parisian Walkways for the vote tonight. So I can see that we are at, 575 likes at the moment. Still a ways to go to get to 615. So if you haven't used up your thumbs up token, if you could use it now, that would be great. Right. So with the analysis videos and everything that I do on the channel, I know that a lot of people have, and this is something that we're not going to be having a troll corner tonight, but I know that a lot of people have their own discussions in the comments section, and it is interesting because, I mean, occasionally I have a little look in there, and although there's not a troll corner tonight, sometimes there'll be a particular troll in a comment section, and for some reason they just keep on coming back to the channel, keep on leaving comments, and other people leave comments saying, why are you here? What are you doing? And then somebody else will leave a comment, and then the troll has a comment within. And it always amazes me that sometimes these reply sections go on for hundreds of comments. So, I mean, yeah, it's absolutely crazy. But yeah, no troll corner for tonight. But I do see a lot of the stuff going on in the comment section. But I mean, generally, I think we are quite lucky with trolls and the channel, considering that we are at 448,000 subscribers now, which is amazing. And again, thank you guys for subscribing. And I'm trying to think if I can remember any kind of troll related comment recently. I can't remember because I mean I'm just so busy doing everything other than worrying about troll comments, but occasionally there's one that pops up that's quite entertaining. But I think for tomorrow night's video there is going to be I don't know, maybe a discussion in the comments section, because it is one of those where we're going to be comparing a performance, and we're going to be comparing it to the actual performance. So we're going to have a direct comparison of something that, this is the crazy thing, that the video that I'm going to be looking at tomorrow night, because I've obviously watched that on YouTube, now I'm getting, or the algorithm is suggesting to me lots of the same video, but you know, like shorts versions of this video. And every video that I get always has the same kind of comment underneath it saying about oh, amazing harmonies and all this kind of stuff. And even one of them was pointing out during the performance all their favorite harmonies. So you're going to have to look out for that video tomorrow night, because it's a really interesting one, but it also really shows that everyone doesn't know what's going on, because people are literally pointing out the harmonies that they enjoy most about a particular performance, and they don't actually know what they're listening to. But obviously, you know, it's all pushed in a particular way so that people are you know, not meant to know exactly what's going on. So yeah, look out for that tomorrow night. And there has just been a donation in the PayPal window, so we'll jump into there. And again, we're looking for 17 more people in the live chat room. If you haven't hit that thumbs up yet, if we get 17 more, we'll bust out the guitar and have a jam. But just quickly, Connie's donated £20 as well. Thank you for that, Connie. And the message is, hi Phil, yesterday I was Christmas shopping and saw a $150 Lego set of the Back to the Future car, complete with Doc and Marty. I left it there on the shelf. Sadly, peace, love, rock, Connie. So thank you for that. Wow, $150. That's a lot of money just for, even though it is Back to the Future, but just for a Lego set of Back to the Future. Yeah, I mean, I could see the desire for the purchase, but yeah, I think $150 would be a little bit too much for my pocket. But just generally, this is the other thing about Christmas time: buying people gifts and spending too much money, and then other people feeling obliged to then have to spend lots of money as well. And it's something that I don't know, in this country we keep an eye on, and we try and be sensible, so that we say, right, let's not go crazy for Christmas. Let's just get each other, you know, a sensible gift, and just not include loads of people in the family that you might not necessarily talk to and all that kind of stuff. Just stick to your family, and then yeah, as long as that works out, then it's fine. But yeah, I know that people go crazy at Christmas, and I would say that my sister is actually guilty of this. She just goes crazy at Christmas, and my nephews just get a million things, to the point where if you ask them, and I know that this would happen, if you asked them, first of all, how many presents did you get this Christmas? They wouldn't know. And if you said, name every one of your Christmas presents, they wouldn't be able to do it, because they get so many that, yeah, they're just kind of opening maybe 3 or 4, and then they'll run off and play with those, and they'll have another 30 under the tree, and then they'll have to come back. And then sometimes for another day, they have another tree with more presents underneath from obviously different family members. So, yeah, whereas back in my day, if you asked me, what did you get for Christmas? I'd be able to tell you one thing that I got for Christmas. And it was great, because you spend all year kind of waiting for that particular gift, especially if it's something that you really want. Like one Christmas, I got a Game Boy, which was amazing. And I tell you, yeah, I remember it now. It's a Game Boy with Super Mario Brothers and it was a game like Super Mario World, I think it was called back then, and that was what I got with my Game Boy. And that was great because I spent all Christmas playing that. So there you go. That was one gift. And, as well as that, obviously, Turkish Delight, chocolate orange. But that was the main gift. So I knew exactly what I got. And yeah, I even now, if I thought, would I choose to have loads of presents that were all like a Game Boy or just have one? I think I would still choose one because it means that you then spend your time on that. It's same for when my sister and I got a Sega Mega Drive, 16-bit performance, by the way. 16-bit gives you an idea of the power of the computers back then. 16-bit. So that's not even 1 megabyte. It's nowhere near a megabyte. And now you have, just saying 1 megabyte, it is tiny. So 16-bit performance on this particular Sega Mega Drive. But again, you remember that. And guess what? We got Aladdin, the computer game, with it. So not only do you remember that, and actually I got PGA Tour Golf on that as well, which was amazing. So yeah, we've got 2 games. And yeah, after Christmas, I would get up early just to play the PGA Tour Golf game, which was really good. So anyway, there you go. Yeah, I wouldn't change that. I'd still just have one present. I think it's great. I think it also gives you an appreciation of real life, that you're very lucky to get one gift, especially like that, and to get loads of presents like that is a bit crazy. But anyway, moving on. Thank you, Connie, for that particular donation. And it looks like we have hit our likes goal target for tonight, which was a new record of 615. So thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up and ensuring that we're going to have a Phil Jam. Now we need everybody to turn up next week to hit the thumbs up again so that we can have another Phil Jam next week and get another new record for the channel. So if you could turn up next week, 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, that would be very much appreciated. So let me move back with this. I was seeing, just on that point of, back in the day, I was watching a video where this guy was saying that we, i.e. people my age, are the last generation to ever know what it was like to not have the internet or constantly be on social media. Because back in the day, you got bored. You had to fill your time with things. So you had to be creative, go out on your bike or, go and play football with your friends or something. So you had to go and do that kind of stuff. Whereas now, kids are constantly on the go. So I think this person was saying that having time to reflect is an important thing just for anybody, even when you're grown up. But to understand how to do that. People that were around before the internet know how to switch off because you go back to what you used to do. Whereas kids now growing up, they're just switched on all the time to everything online, social media, and how do you unplug from that when you've never known how to in the first place? So we'll see what the next generation are like. But it's all a bit dodgy in my eyes, just not being able to unplug from technology. But anyway, right, what are we doing? We're doing the Phil Jam, and we are going to be zooming out, which we've done. Guitar, I think, is on. Mic is on. That's on, I can hear it. And this, let's click on this. And right, this is cool, dramatic, melodic, rock, backing track in E minor from YT Jam Tracks. And that is YT in capital letters. So, I think we are good to go. Let me know what the levels are like on this. I can't even move my chair. Even though it's got wheels on it, I can't move the chair because it kind of gets stuck in the carpet to get my effects going. But we'll just work with it. I've got to actually hear this in the first place. Can you hear this? It's like piano. hear this? Sounds a bit quiet to me. Adverts. Skip. left here? Oh, I can't see. About a minute. And there we have it. It ended a little bit earlier than I thought it was going to, hence why I just bailed there at the end. And it is what it is. I just ended on the E to resolve it. So there we have it. That was cool, dramatic, melodic rock backing track in E minor. And that's from YT in capital letters, Jam Tracks on YouTube. If you guys want to load that up and have a go yourselves. So, right, that is the live stream for tonight, and we've only run over by a little amount. So thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up and ensuring that we do bust out the guitar and have a fill jam at the end of the live stream. It's very much appreciated. I'm going to be here with another video tomorrow night. Look out for that one, and the live stream on Tuesday night at 11 p.m. again. This is where I will be at that time, so if you can join me then, that will be great as well. So all that's left for me to say is try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and I'll see you at tomorrow night's video and at the live stream on Tuesday night. If you can make it, then that would be great. So I'll catch you guys then. See you later. Rock!